Hey, welcome back to Soulpreneur Scaling Stories. I'm really excited to have Sakshi Khatri here, who is an online business manager, launch strategist, and the founder of Blueprint and Bloom. How are you, Sakshi?
Hi, Andrea. I'm good. And thank you for having me here.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'm excited because we actually did a 1 day Slack coaching. I don't remember when it was. Do you remember when it was?
It was amazing. It was actually offer creation day for me. So, we were just brainstorming together on Slack the whole day, thinking about how I can, frame my offers, how I can present them to my clients, and how I can sound more premium. So that was like a big turning point for me, which I'll tell you more about it for sure.
Yeah, it was funny because we did this, I don't know, it had less than a year ago, I believe.
Yeah,
And,
I think 7 to 8
yeah,
months ago. Yeah.
okay. Okay. And then I think, or you had come to networking or we had reconnected, and then it's like, oh, she's like, I do this, and I have an agency. I'm like, what? What's going on? I was like, I need the tea and we need to talk about this. So that's what we're going to do here today. So why don't you tell us what your business looks like right now?
So right now it's an agency, like it's a blueprint, it's Blueprint and Bloom. We have recently registered properly, and I have a team of 8 people now.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, we are helping set up women founders with backend systems and doing launch management for them, doing website builds and supporting with social media as well. So it's all front end and back end that we are covering now. I started with back end and now I've gotten into envisioning the brands also. So it has been quite a journey for me.
Wow, that's insane because that's not where you were 8 months ago at all,
Yeah, not at
or even like
all.
before that.
Not at all.
So, okay, so take us back to maybe that point, maybe around 8 months, a year ago. What was happening in your business at that time before we had done our day on offer creation day on Slack?
So at that point, I had already, positioned myself as an OBM, online business manager, and I've started getting retainer clients at that point, but I was still not clear on how I should position myself, how I should price myself, how should I put the offers in, so they can clearly understand what I was offering. I was still speaking the language of a virtual assistant at that point, but just operating as a online business manager. So that was like a turning point for me, a transformation for me when I met you as well. And there was another person I met at that point, and she also helped me. Like this was through the multiple OBMs that I reached out. So this was a crazy phase I'll tell you about. While I wanted to become an OBM, I got in and crazily messaged 20 OBMs on LinkedIn and Instagram just to have a coffee chat with them. And you wouldn't agree, 50 of them, 15 of them were ready to meet me right at that point. And, I had a whole 2 week schedule, meeting people again and again, just trying to understand how to position myself and how to price
Hmm.
myself. So I met this girl from India, and she also helped me a lot with of like explaining what the offers should be and what are the backend
Mhm.
systems that she did. So yeah, these were like two turning points that helped me a lot.
You know, what was really cool that you said, and I don't think a lot of people do this, is you're like, you know what? I want to be this. Like, I want to move into this role. So let me talk to people in this role. And I love the fact that one, you reached out to so many people, and I'm curious if you were scared or had any like nervous feelings in doing so. And two, that 15 out of 20 agreed to meet with you. And it doesn't surprise me because people are generally nice. And two, I think it's so amazing, that this community is like that and are offer, like happy to chat with you, happy to answer your questions, happy to lift you up. And so one is, what were your feelings kind of reaching out to all of these people? And then the second part of that is, did the calls, well, it sounded like the calls were, at least some of them were really helpful for you.
Um,
Or did anything unexpected come out of them?
yeah, a lot actually. So first of all, I'd answer your first question. It was definitely like getting out of my comfort zone or cocoon for me. So I was a VA
Yeah.
who was doing multiple tasks, being the doer, handling the backend, don't know how to show my face in front of 30 people and, those 20 people, and didn't know how to position myself properly. So it was like stepping out of my comfort zone, asking those people what they were doing and how it was working out for them, the most important thing, and how they were positioning it, like how they were positioning themselves. I used to check out LinkedIn profiles for so long. I used to check out Instagram profiles for so long, stalking them, trying to understand what they were actually doing and what they were talking about. And that's how I got to know about things by communicating more and understanding more. And when I met these people, it was definitely like a lot of unexpected came out of it. I got to know about a system that I am like deep diving into right now, that's Go High Level. So I have learned about it. It's an all-in-one system, and I learned more about it. And I started working with it, and now I set up like backend systems for so many clients on it. So yeah, it has been like unexpected for
That's so
me.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And I invite anybody listening or watching to take that as inspiration. Be like, oh, if you want to go into something, like talk to people who are doing it
Yeah.
and they'll be happy to chat with you. And so I think and you never know what's going to come out of it. So I think that's so cool. Okay, so you went VA. How long were you a VA before switching over to OBM?
So I started back in 2020, and before 2 years, I became an OBM. Like I started calling
Okay.
myself an OBM 2 years ago. And like when I met you, I was an OBM, but I wasn't sure how to still position myself, just doing most of the OBM work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is a struggle that a lot of people have, or at least a lot of people that I talk to definitely have that, is because
Yeah.
one, it's so common because, the focus naturally when you're somebody who works in the back end and systems and you're kind of minded like that is like, listen, I just want to do the work. Like, I don't necessarily want to
Yeah.
have to worry so much about marketing and things like that. And so it kind of gets pushed to the back because you're so focused on client work or so focused on, what you're doing. And then you realize when it's transitional time, like, oh crap, like I'm going into this kind of like new area where there's new clients and I need to get in front of a new audience. And how do I even do that so they understand what I do and are interested in working with me? And I think that's kind of a point where that becomes so important, is this like these transitional moments.
Yeah, I agree to that. And you just don't know what should be the words, what should be the things you should be telling out. So people will understand what you want to offer. And, especially with the price points, with the offers, you just get stuck. And even after putting down your offer once, it's not going to be your final offer. You're going to
Right.
look into it
Yes.
20 more times, and you're still going to keep updating it in the future. But once you start getting into it and start, framing your offers, that's the day your transformation begins, and you know what you're worth also.
I love that. You put that really beautifully. And it's really true that yes, like, and especially, like we created an offer together that day and 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 you were like lightning fast. It was like, yes, okay. Like really, like I asked the questions and like it really like went like and like we had an offer and so that was really
Yeah.
cool. And it's really normal that then you go and start doing things and then it gets refined and you start changing and shifting, but you have to start. Right?
Yeah.
Like you have to like the changes come from you actually taking action and doing things.
Exactly. And when I met you, I was already doing launches for multiple people, but I was still, if you remember, I was scared of launches still then. I was saying there is so much
Yeah.
chaos in launches, and how you explained me beautifully that if you plan it properly, it's going to be amazing. And after that, I've almost done 6 more launches, and I can't tell you
Ah.
how good it has been. I also have an offer for the launches in my suite now. So, yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Oh, that makes my heart so happy. Okay, but let's talk about your growth after this. So, and I'm sure a lot of people are interested in this because when we had met for that day, you went again, like we were saying, like OBM, okay, I went VA, OBM, and now it's like, what do I do here? And then that's where we defined this like launch strategist type of role because that was something that you were really interested then and created a whole situation around that. And now you're doing that and you have a whole agency going on. So I'm curious how that came about.
So, first of all, having the offers helped me a lot. And then the second thing that helped me was again putting myself out like I did by reaching out those OBMs. So, I started putting myself out on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on multiple events. And I would say you never get a client from a particular place. Like if you ask me today, Sakshi, where did you get your client from? I cannot say got my client from Instagram, from LinkedIn, from emails, or from any event. So I just tell you, like I met someone on Instagram. I talked to her. She just told me about an event that was happening in like it's a UK event in which multiple people meet together. And I went to that event. I was in a breakout room with 4 people, and those were like amazing ladies. Out of those, one really liked my work. She appreciated it, and she referred me to another person who I am working with right now. So can you even
Yes.
imagine like
Yes.
how things can work out in your favor when you have the offers structured, you have systems in place, and you are reaching out to the right people? So you can never define where your lead came from, but you can definitely put on the efforts on multiple channels, put yourself out there, and I think that helps. So that was something I started doing, and from there I started getting some retainer clients. But I realized that if I keep doing the work, I am going to hit a ceiling at some point, because
Right.
it
Yep.
was causing me burnout and it was causing issues in my personal life, and I was not able to handle it all. So I started with hiring. When I met you, I already had one of a team member before. She was an associate working with me. Like she's my cousin. She helps me with everything. And from there I started hiring more people and understanding how I can grow this. So yeah, from there I'm still learning. There are multiple layers of growth, as you know. I'm still learning how to manage people, how to give what you love to others and still be, happy. Because I am also a perfectionist. I mean, I think most OBMs are, but I am also a perfectionist. And, giving your client your work in someone else's hands is not that easy. And I'm learning,
Yep.
and I'm still learning, and I'll keep learning.
I mean, this is a whole big learning growth journey. And you had reminded me of something. I have an agency owner in my group program that's Foundations to Flow, which is an offer creation program. And we did an exercise where it's kind of like you measure like what, the things that you're doing, and there's 4 quadrants. Picture a graph with 4 quadrants, and it's energy and how much you love something. And when she was mapping it out, and she was like, wait, I'm doing all of these things that are like take a lot of energy that I don't love doing. And so through that exercise, she was like, no, I'm going to keep this, this, and this, and I'm going to give away all the rest of that. So that way she's able to do the things that she loves and still be able to serve her clients in the way that's needed. And so that was really cool to see that. And what you were talking about reminded me of that, because there's so many ways you can structure an
Yeah.
agency as well. There's kind of like no set rules around it. So what is it that you do? Like, how involved are you with clients? Are you just there to get them and then your team does all the work, or how do you have it set up?
So for me right now, I'm still the online business manager. I'm still the launch strategist. I'm also a envisioning person now. So for the online business management packages and the launch packages that we have, I am the one who strategizes with the client. I am
Yep.
also suggesting people like what kind of offers they can have now. It's like
Yes, love
it's
it.
very
Yes.
different from what I was doing, but now I'm also doing that because I have
Mm-hmm.
seen how multiple clients worked with me and what kind of offers work for them. So I just help them envision what offers they can have, how they can put it together, and then I map the whole client journey with them, like how their clients come in, what is their dream client journey, and then I just hand it from there to my team to make sure and take care of the tech implementation. I'm still in the loops everywhere to make sure that the client is satisfied. I'm slowly trying to, you know, loosen the ends more and give them
Yep.
more, but I'm still stuck at some point. That's the point where I'm, you can say that's what is difficult for me right now, is I'm still trying to, make more connection between the client and my team, which I'm still struggling
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That, and I think that will come. It's kind of funny because now you can see how difficult it could be for a client to give up control, right, of their things
Yeah.
to people like VAs and OBMs when you're like, wait, no,
Yeah.
like, how can I let go? So that comes with processes and checkpoints and there's like a good
Yeah.
whole thing around it. We don't have to get into that now, but yes, that is definitely a growth journey as well. As okay, I'm starting this, I'm hiring people now. I have to let go and more
Yeah.
and be able to trust my team and put the things in place
Yeah.
so that way they're able to do, I'm
Exactly.
able to trust that they are doing the right thing.
I'm also working on one more thing that is bringing a team bonding between my team. So until now, I have been communicating with everyone, making sure that things are done. But now
Yeah.
I think my team is working a lot with me, and to keep them motivated, I need to have that team bonding, like let them know
Yeah.
each other. So even if I
Yeah.
grow more
Yeah.
in future, it's easier for them to connect as well. And that's another loose end for me where I'm working right now.
No, but that's really amazing. I love that. And I think a question that probably a lot of people have is like, wait, how did you get so many clients so quickly that you're able to have this big team in just over the course of a few months? And so I know you were talking about kind of like showing up and networking and these things, but can you describe that a little bit further?
I would say that networking and that definitely worked for me, but then word of mouth is the biggest thing. I would say, whenever you're working with a client, rather than, definitely market yourself, but your first priority should be to serve them best. Because if you don't serve them
Yeah.
best, let's talk about, all people always talk about the best case. I'm going to talk about the worst case. So, what if you don't give them a best service or you don't give them a good service? They are definitely going to, not be happy with it and say it out loud, because obviously we also do the same. So that's definitely going to reduce your reputation in the market, and people are not going to be interested in what you're offering. So now vice versa, if you give the best, they couldn't keep it to them, they will just shout it out loud that Sakshi is amazing, her team is amazing. I just can't stop thinking about like working with her, I would suggest you more. And so that also, works out in that way. And
Yeah.
referrals, word of mouth helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool that it's kind of like your work is speaking for itself
Mhm.
in one way, and they're excited and happy to refer you to other people. Have you ever asked any of them for referrals?
Yes, I have. I always do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So that's a big piece of it too that a lot of people don't
Yeah.
do or they're nervous to do
Yeah.
is to ask your clients for referrals. So can you talk about that a little bit?
So whenever at a point, I'm like at a point with a client where I feel like I have done enough, and I always will be serving them and I will be working with them until they need me. But where I have done enough and I've proved enough that I am the one and I am providing the support that they need, and it's actually helping them out in their business. It's helping them grow their revenue, not just helping them save their time or just making peace
Yeah.
out of it, but also helping them uh, grow themselves and grow their business. So at that point, whenever I feel that, I just ask them if they know someone who would also be interested in what I am offering, or if they can just spread the word in their community. And if ever someone needs help, um, I'd be happy to.
Yes. And I love how you're just, or even if you are afraid, you just do it. You take the actions that you need to take in order to keep growing your business. And I think that is something that is so important because a lot of people shy away from those things, from reaching out to, the people doing things that they want to be doing, from asking their clients for referrals. And
Mhm.
you would be surprised that what's the worst that's going to happen? They say no. I
Yeah,
mean, like, right? Like nothing terrible is going to happen
exactly.
if you do that. Or maybe they just don't do it. But most of the time they're going to want you to succeed, especially if you have a good relationship and they're good people. So they're going to be happy to be part of your journey to help you rise up.
Exactly. And if you serve their reference or their friend, mostly it's their friends, usually, or the community they're from, if you serve them also
Yeah.
better, they are even more happier because, now
Right.
you three know
Yeah.
each other and you guys can also meet and it's
Yeah.
like a small group of people you know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it gets better.
Yeah, totally. It's like you're forming a community,
Exactly.
and they trust you and they're happy to have somebody that does good work and that they can help their friends out as well. So it's really a win for everybody. So if you guys are not asking your clients for referrals, please do so.
Yeah.
Learn from Sakshi and please do so. So on this journey, which has been so cool, and I'm so excited to hear this, and I feel special that I had a day that was, that was helpful in this journey. What has been a time that it has felt really difficult for you? What's been a hurdle that you've had to overcome?
I would say the hurdle has always been internal for me and not external.
Yeah.
I would never, I was stuck at a point where I was doing OBM level work and I was still not positioning myself as an OBM. And the day I
Yeah.
stepped out of that has been a journey has been a very different journey from there, what I had back
Mm.
then. So, I would always recommend to look at what you're doing and understand the level of work that you're doing because I am sure like almost 80% of VAs are definitely doing OBM level work and they just don't know it yet.
Yes.
I feel that,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, no, I 100% agree with you because I talk to them all the time. I do these free business audits, and I can't tell you the number of times
Yeah.
that somebody is doing work above their quote unquote title and
Like,
getting
yeah.
paid half of what they should be, for what they're doing. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
yes.
you wouldn't believe the kind of work I was doing. I was doing launch managements. I was doing all the online business management, everything, project management, team management, making decisions, thinking ahead of the curve, and uh,
Yeah.
making revenue led decisions whether this person should keep this person in the team or not. Is it good revenue wise or not? So, can you imagine? And I was still
Wow.
calling myself a VA. So, that was my problem,
Wow.
not even my client's
Yeah.
problem. Because as soon as I
Yeah.
became an OBM for her, she's still working with me and she's so happy about my growth. So, that was me pushing myself back down rather than someone else.
Yeah, because it's also it feels safer, right? Because it's comfortable and it feels like, oh, I'm just doing these things
Yeah.
and it's not a big deal. I know how to do them. And because when whether the evolution is a good thing or the change is negative or any kind of change is difficult. It's our nervous system is like, no, please, like I just want to stay with what we're
Yeah.
doing. This is comfortable.
Yeah.
And so even if it's a good thing when it's growth, that's still
Let's
uncomfortable.
not grow. It's
And
like, let's not grow. Let's stay there. It's
yeah,
more comfortable.
yeah, completely. Yes, no, 100%, right? Because it's easier because we're like, okay, we know how this, even if
Yeah.
the feeling is like, wow, I really should be making more money. I'm not making enough money. I'm doing all of these things. That's still comfortable because you're used to those
Yeah.
feelings, versus like, wait, I have to like actually push myself and overcome this uncomfortableness to get to the next level. And that happens every time, but every time you do it, it gets a little bit easier because right? Like, I don't know if you felt that too. Like, okay, I got over this first level of evolution that was really uncomfortable. And then the next one's a little easier, a little easier.
Yeah, you just need to step out once, then it gets easier. But stepping out the first time is really hard. But you need to
Yeah.
push yourself at that point, I feel,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you get to do things like what you're doing right now.
Yeah, and still learning cause yeah, it's still not enough. Yeah.
And so along the same lines, if you had one piece of advice that you would like to share for VAs or OBMs, done for you service providers who are growing, who want to get to this next level, what would that be that you've learned from your own journey?
I'll start from a little bit back. So, I was doing everything as a VA, like email marketing, social media marketing, even I was doing inventory management for people. So everything I was doing there, but I was learning, I was figuring out things. But when
Yeah.
it has been really helpful for me because I am someone who learns from the job rather than sitting
Yeah.
and learning theoretically. So it has been really good for me. But now there is also a back point of this, that your brain starts learning that doing more is going to help you scale, which is very wrong. I
Yeah.
believe thinking differently and stepping out of your comfort zone and realizing the level you're at and what you can be at is the point where growth starts, rather than doing more, counting hours for everything. Do it in the initial part of your career, but as soon
Yeah.
as you realize that now you're able to manage people, you are able to take care of such responsibilities that are out of what a VA's scope would be, you should definitely, move out and try different things. Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's so on point and like so aligned with what I help my clients with. So
Yeah.
thank you for making that that point. And I did the same thing when I started as a VA because I didn't know anything.
Exactly.
And
Same.
like you, it's like, no, I need to experience it. I can't just be like, oh, that sounds cool. So I did all the things, right? And then, kind of narrowed it down from there, became a OBM, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, and you're so right in terms of you can't scale by doing everything.
Yeah.
It's so much harder. You really
Yeah.
have to nail that positioning and figure out what it is that you love doing also, because if you
Exactly.
don't love doing it, then you're going to burn out and not want to do it anymore like 5 years from now.
Yeah, and that's the point where you asked me what you do right now. I do strategy with clients. I help them with launches. I envision things for them for their websites and everything. Because that's what I have always been good at. I have been good at problem
Yes.
solving, helping people out, communicating. So I just found those grounds, and I don't want to pass on that ground right now. And I'm just, giving tech implementation and other stuff to the team. But yeah, slowly I
Yeah.
might do that as I evolve. But definitely.
And that's a good point too, right? Yeah, is to not force yourself, right? Because like there's going to continuously be evolution. And
Exactly.
so don't look at it like, oh, this is what I do and this is going to be me forever. And,
Yeah.
just kind of flow with it
Yeah.
and
Be open to the
but
idea.
without holding yourself back, right? Like
Mhm.
have the mindset to ride the wave forward and keep moving forward
I love that.
with what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Love that what
I
you
just
said.
came I just came to me.
I know you're amazing with words. I can't beat that ever.
Please. Hi. Awesome. And where can we find you? I don't know if you have any freebies or anything like that you want to share as well.
You can find me on Instagram at Remote Biz Manager. That's where I share all the behind the scenes about the businesses, how I manage launches, and I'm still working on those. So you might see more coming. I have worked on a freebie recently. I don't have it live right now, but my website is live now, so it will come there soon. It's www.theblueprintandbloom.com. So yeah, you can look out for that. I do offer a free clarity session as well as coffee chats, even to someone, because I have learned from so many people. So I am happy to give it out.
Oh,
So any OBM, VA, whoever is looking to, learn about my journey or maybe have just a coffee chat, I'm always open to that.
oh, I love that. And yes, thank you so much for sharing all of that and sharing your wisdom. And yeah, I'm excited. We should do another coffee chat.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Lovely. It was amazing, Andrea.
That's a wrap on today's episode, and thank you so much for listening. If anything we talked about today made you think, okay, well, what does this actually look like in my business? That's exactly what a free business audit is for. In just 45 minutes, I'll help you identify your unstructured expertise, pinpoint what's keeping you capped, and map out what your signature method could look like. There's a link in the show notes to grab your spot, and I will see you in the next episode.